Hello, everybody. Good evening. Um, my name is Tina, and I'm here again to talk about domestic violence, hidden pain of a woman due to domestic violence. I hope everybody's having a good day. It's Saturday night in July. I wanted to talk about domestic violence again. It is such an epidemic in our society, and we tend to ignore some of us tend to ignore it. I know there are so many organizations that are doing such excellent job in terms of helping others. I'm not an expert, but I am a survivor of domestic violence, and that's why I've chosen to talk about it. Today I'm just going to discuss the sexual aspect of domestic violence. According to research done by one of the organizations, sexual assault is described as an assault by an intimate partner that is being caused to a woman. I said woman, I know there are men also. According to the research, the men are also affected, but my focus is on women and girls. So this is sexual assault caused by a partner, intimate partner, either a husband or boyfriend, inflicting sexual assault to a woman. It's considered as an assault if that person threatens to inflict such harm to a woman. You don't really have to touch that person, but the fact that you say you will do it, the fact that you threaten the woman that you will sexually assault her, is still considered sexual assault. This type of domestic violence can happen to anyone. It can happen to anyone, because sometimes guys use this form of abuse to control a woman. When some of them become so violent by forcing themselves onto a woman's body. Let me tell you, a woman's body is hers. It doesn't belong to you. Whether you're married to that person, whether you're dating that person, her body is her body. It doesn't belong to any man. It doesn't matter it doesn't matter if you're the husband or you're the boyfriend. When she tells you she doesn't want you to touch her inappropriately, please listen to her, because she knows how it's affecting her. According to the research, it accounts to a large number of abuse in the United States. They say that it affects over 1 million people in the United States alone. In the United States, over 1 million women and men, of course, they say. It affects to both men and women. So about over 1 million people that sexual assault affects. And I'm sure that in Africa, I would say Nigeria specifically, it's way more than that. It's way more than that. It's because I don't know if there's any research done regarding how many women or young girls that have been sexually abused in our country. You know why? Because sex is something what we don't talk about in our society. I'm talking about my country, Nigeria, where we come from. We don't talk about it. So when a young girl is sexually assaulted, she usually doesn't tell anybody. She keeps it she keeps it to herself. And that's why I say the hidden pain that most women carry. Maybe not every woman, but most women carry. They hide it because they don't know what somebody will say. They don't know what the social stigma in our country, in Nigeria, and then I'm sure other parts of the world, a woman is blamed, especially when it comes to sexual abuse. So these girls don't talk about it. There was something I was watching, on, I think either Facebook or one of those networks, channels. A girl that was sexually assaulted by the man that she lives with. The wife knew about it, but now she didn't do anything. But you know that there's, I'm sure, thousands and thousands of young girls in our country, in our society, that the man, okay, let's say now, a man will go to somebody's house, okay, in Nigeria, and tell the girl's family that he wants to take, he goes with his wife and tells the family, I want to take your daughter and I'm going to train her in school, because that girl's family don't have money to send her to school. And he will take the child and he will go take the child to home. And every night he comes, sneaks into the girl's room and rapes her. And the wife knows about it. And she didn't do nothing. Do you know the kind of pain you have inflicted on that child? That little girl will one day become a woman. You know what it causes? It causes her not to trust men, even women. It creates physical illness. This child will probably grow up, because she might grow up to become, maybe lead her to even acting sexually, becoming more and more looking for sex all the time. Even when she knew that it becomes like an addiction, sexually addiction. It becomes like an addiction where she goes around and she sleeps around. And the society, our society, doesn't make it easier for her. They probably say, oh, she's a prostitute. But do you know the kind of pain that has been inflicted to her by somebody that she probably trusts, maybe takes as a father or uncle? And you, the woman that is married to this man, you know about it and you don't do anything about it. That's somebody's child. What God will judge? He will judge people. Now that girl, I'm talking about people that are even here, people that are being raped, are being, defiled sexually, and sometimes they cannot go to the police because they are fearful of what the police would say. They are fearful how they'll be treated. They are fearful what the society will put them through, the questioning that they will receive, the judgment that they'll receive from people. Sexual, even sometimes some men, husbands, will forcefully force themselves on the wife Well, some people might say now, oh, after all, he's married to her. Well, even if you're married to your wife and your wife tells you no, you're supposed to listen. You're not supposed to force her and cause her pain. Because forcing her now, you are causing her emotional distress. You're causing her, and this leads to other problems, because now she will never trust you again. When sex is supposed to be something that is beautiful between husband and wife. But when you take it forcefully, when she tells you no, don't do it, and you do it, she doesn't trust you anymore. She doesn't trust you anymore. She will never trust you anymore. So, people don't consider it abuse, especially when you're married. It is an abuse. And as I was reading this, I'm like, wow, there are so many women that go through this. So many. But they're not going to talk about it, because especially in our culture, it's a taboo to even discuss sexual abuse. They say, who are you going to tell? Nobody will listen to you. He's your husband. He owns you. He owns your body. No, you don't. He does not own your body. Girls, you have to know that nobody owns your body. Your body is your body. And you have a choice to tell the person, yes, he's married to you, but he shouldn't be forceful. Okay? And the girls that are dating, you do not allow a boy to force himself on you. If he does, you need to tell somebody. And boys, when a girl tells you no, pay attention and tell her. When she tells you, you know what, I don't want you to do this, pay attention to her. Okay? Because when you do that, it leads to a woman having other physical and mental problems. Some people that when they are forceful, are sexually assaulted, they can develop a physical ailment and mental illness, even the mental problem, and they develop anxiety. They get into depression. They go into post-traumatic stress syndrome or disorder. The physical, for sexually transmitted disease, unwanted pregnancies, okay? And then even damage to the reproductive organ. That later on, if the person may not even be able to have a child, and they'll be wondering why. Because when they contract some of the STDs, that damages your reproductive organs. And so it's difficult to conceive a child, to have children. And then some of these children can't even enjoy sex anymore because of the damage, because of the pain that had been caused due to that, due to domestic violence, sexual aspect of it. When you sexually assault a woman, it goes back to all these other parts of domestic violence, the physical, because in the process, the girl is fighting. She can get injured by you physically, forcing yourself on her. You can inflict physical pain, emotional pain, psychological pain, and then financial, because she has to be treated. And when the woman is assaulted sexually, it affects all of us, because that woman one day, well, some of them, because they're so damaged, they may not even be able to work, be productive citizens, because they have so much anxiety. Some of them have phobia. They're even afraid to step outside of their home. And then they have to, in America, they depend on the government, because now they have what they call disability. it affects all of us. And then when they have children, it's also something that they're afraid that, especially if they have daughters, they're afraid that the same thing might happen to their daughters. You know, as I was reading on this, I'm like, oh my God, what are we doing? What's going on in the world now? It is so much. The only thing I can say, it's a lot. It's a lot. So I have some phone numbers here that I've written down from. So if you know that I have organizations that deal with this issue here. It says National Domestic Violence Hotline, which is 1-800-799-7233. And the National Sexual Assault Hotline, which is 1-800-656-HOPE. 1-800-656-HOPE. If you know that you are going through this, you're going through domestic violence, there is help out there. There is help out there. Don't let anybody tell you that you need to stay in that relationship. If you're being sexually abused, you need to tell somebody. You need to talk about it. Tell somebody that you trust. Here in America, tell the authorities. I don't know about Nigeria, but so many children, so many girls go through abuse. It is all of our business. It's all our, the business is ours to talk about this problem that is facing our children and even us. It's so sad that this, even in this time, 2022, still goes on. So if you're going through domestic violence, you don't have to stay in the marriage. You don't. I'm telling you. When I dealt with my problem, when I dealt with my issue in my marriage, I went through a lot. I was afraid to talk about it, to tell people what I was going through. And I didn't leave. I left many times and I came back because I was afraid of raising. I have 4 sons, raising my 4 sons by myself. And what will people say? But once I made up my mind to leave, I know that I wasn't going to come back. So I'm telling you that if you are going through domestic violence, there is help out there. And don't let anybody tell you that you're not worth it. You are worth to be loved, not to be abused. So you have to look at yourself as hidden pain of a woman. It's a pain that lasts a long time. But you can use that pain that you're going through to make something better. Use it to help somebody else. Use it to encourage you other women that are going through it. Because, when we go through problems, it's not just for ourselves, but it's for you. God is trying to tell you that you can use what you have been through to make this world a better place, to use it to talk to others, to use it to counsel other people. Because now you know how it feels to be abused. So when you see somebody else going through it, don't just ignore it. Help that person if you can. I just want you to know that pain that is inside of you, you can use it to make a difference. And you have to know that you are worthy of love, not of hate, and not of abuse. You are beautiful. And I pray for God to help those who are going through abuse, those who have gone through it, for God to help them to continue to heal, and those who are stuck in it, for God to help find a way to release them from the bondage that they're going through. May God bless you.